Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a truly fascinating collection of sources. They really lay bare the intricate relationship between justice, the law, and, well, this elusive figure of a masked vigilante. Picture a city where the lines between right and wrong aren't just blurry, they're actively fought over, and a dedicated prosecutor finds herself up against not just criminals, but this mysterious force dishing out its own brand of retribution.
Yeah, we've really delved into a rich tapestry here. Lots of notes, articles, personal accounts. Our vision, basically, is to excavate the surprising truths woven into this narrative. We'll be looking at the motivations of those who, rigorously uphold the law,
Right.
and equally, those who dare to operate entirely outside of it. What happens when deep personal trauma becomes the fuel for a quest for vengeance? And how does love possibly find its way through terrain like that? It's quite something.
Exactly. Get ready to uncover layers of loyalty, secrets, and the unexpected ways people are drawn together when pursuing what they fundamentally believe is right.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear about a man who moved like smoke in the shadows, but could hit like thunder when needed, and a woman whose unwavering faith is in a legal system that's often described as, well, totally overburdened.
Mm.
So our narrative really kicks off in Urbana. It's a city struggling, grappling with crime. And we're immediately introduced to this shadowy figure known only as Nemesis. The sources paint a vivid picture. Clad in black, masked, he was a shadow among shadows, just a whisper in the dark, always watchful.
Mm-hmm.
He's drawn to the raw vulnerability of the city, to the whimpers and tears of the lonely and the hopeless pleas of the victimized.
And what's immediately striking about Nemesis is his core philosophy, right?
Yeah.
He operates completely beyond the law. He's convinced it's, quote, too easily manipulated by those who scorn it and too often bent and twisted.
Yeah, the system's broken in his eyes.
Exactly. He explicitly says that when he walked for justice, she of the blind eyes. The sources really frame it like, for Nemesis, the system's flaws aren't just, like, inconveniences. They're a fundamental betrayal of justice itself. And that creates this void that he feels only extra-legal action can fill. It's a stark portrayal, really, of conviction versus the framework.
And the sources, they waste no time dropping us right into the action.
Yeah.
We see Nemesis intervene in a mugging, and the victim, none other than Deborah O'Roarke, a determined assistant district attorney, an ADA. She's attacked in a dark alley.
Yeah.
The attacker, he's high, got a switchblade. She's terrified. She's actually trying to fight back with her keys desperately.
Which is pretty gutsy.
Very. And then Nemesis just appears, sends the assailant flying into a stand of metal garbage cans. Just boom.
But even though he saved her, their first interaction is, well, it's anything but grateful, isn't it?
Not at all.
He actually criticizes her, tells her off for being in the sewer of the city, questioning her judgment.
What were you thinking, basically?
Yeah, right. And this immediate friction is pivotal. It establishes that core dynamic we're looking at. The clash between sticking to the law no matter what and this swift, brutal vigilante action. Deborah finds him rude and abrupt. She knows she owes him, sure, but she says, I don't have to like him.
Oof. Sets up a real conflict right there.
Yeah.
Gratitude versus principle.
Precisely.
And this is where the narrative really takes a twist. Because Deborah finds herself in this surprisingly high-stakes social setting. She's at a political campaign party, thrown by this hotel magnate, Arlo Stewart, for Mayor Tucker Fields. And amidst all the glitz, she meets this, well, strikingly attractive, wealthy businessman named Gage Guthrie. What do the sources tell us about him?
Oh, Gage's background is incredibly intriguing. He's described as having a long, lean, somewhat scholarly face, deep-set eyes, and a poetic-looking mouth. Sounds quite charming.
Definitely sounds it.
But crucially, we learn he was in a coma for a long time, 9 or 10 months. And when he recovered, apparently he couldn't hack the streets anymore. Turned down a desk job with the UPD, the Urbana Police Department.
Okay, so former caught potential.
Seems like it. Then he inherited a plump inheritance, about $3 million, which he's since spun into 30 and counting.
Wow. Okay, so he's very wealthy now.
Extremely. His charm is undeniable, but Deborah, with her sharp prosecutor's instincts, she senses undercurrents. Dark, dangerous undercurrents.
It's almost like the source is hinting at this duality right from the get-go, you know?
Yeah, red flags, maybe. And what's revealed later is genuinely shocking. Gage is Nemesis.
Damn. There it is.
His seemingly supernatural ability to vanish, it's a direct result of the coma, almost mystical. He actually demonstrates it for her later, shows her how his hand can disappear, and then his whole body. It's wild.
Totally wild.
But the why behind Nemesis, why he does this, it goes even deeper. He recounts this vivid nightmare, a flashback really, to his past as an undercover cop. He was partnered with Jack McDowell, infiltrating a major drug cartel in Urbana. They weren't just partners, he says, they were more than partners, they were brothers. And this dive into Gage's past is absolutely crucial for understanding him. It's everything. We learn his parents were robbed and brutally murdered when he was young. That's a huge foundational trauma right there.
Absolutely.
Then, his partner Jack, killed right in front of him by this guy Montega, a Colombian drug enforcer. Gage himself was seriously wounded. Technically, the source says he died that night before being brought back.
Jeez, died and came back.
Yeah. And his time in that coma, described as a gray liquid world, led to his unique gift, the ability to become insubstantial, to vanish. But it's not just presented as a cool superpower, right? The source calls it almost a curse of a gift.
How so?
Well, it hints at the massive psychological toll. It isolates him. He avoids getting close to anyone because he's afraid of being vulnerable, making a mistake. This whole backstory, it explains why he operates outside the law. It's this potent mix of grief, trauma, and a thirst for justice, and, frankly, revenge that the system just completely failed to provide.
Right. The system failed him on every level.
Utterly.
Meanwhile, Deborah, our dedicated ADA, she is relentless in pursuing justice within the legal system. That's her whole world. She's prosecuting this pimp, Jimmy Sligerman, who brutally beat two women, Marjorie and Suzanne. You hear her fierce dedication in the courtroom scenes, how she picked her way slowly, carefully through the technicalities to make sure justice is served. She even uses a tapped phone call, exposing Sligerman, threatening the victims to secure a crucial win.
And this really highlights Deborah's unwavering belief in the law. It's a core value, instilled by her parents. Her mother was a cop, her father a public defender. Both, she explains, dedicated their lives and lost them defending the law.
Wow, both of them.
Yeah, and she explicitly states she didn't want it to have been for nothing. So her parents' sacrifice isn't just backstory. It's presented as the absolute foundation of her moral code. It locks her into protecting the system, even when it's struggling or seems flawed.
But her case, the Sligerman case, it takes some really dangerous turns. Her informant, Carl Perino, he's murdered in jail with this chilling note taped to the bars, "Dead birds don't sing."
Ominous. Very.
Then Ray Santiago, another potential informant, calls her, asks her to meet him alone. Deborah, despite her colleague practically begging her not to, she goes to this meeting in what the sources call a hellhole of a hotel, clearly a dangerous rundown place.
Oh boy. You know this isn't going to end well.
Nope. She finds Santiago dead and comes face to face with Montega, the same guy who killed Gage's partner.
Montega, wow. So it's all connected. This is a critical escalation. And it immediately raises the question, how did the criminals know she was coming? How did Montega know?
Exactly. And she figures it out pretty quick. There's a tap on her phone. Montega was waiting for her by name. The stakes just keep rising. Her apartment gets trashed. A clear warning from the cartel. And her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Greenbaum, gets injured in the process.
Oh, no, not the neighbor. That makes it personal.
Totally personal. And this is a pivotal moment for Deborah. She doesn't back down. She declares, if they thought they could scare me away by doing this, they're going to be disappointed.
Her dedication just hardens, doesn't it? It's where the personal stakes and the professional ones just completely merge.
Definitely. And throughout all this escalating danger, the complex relationship between Deborah and Gage keeps deepening. He relentlessly pursues her, brings her breakfast, buys her clothes from his fancy department store, Athena's.
Smooth operator, that Gage.
Totally. There's this undeniable chemistry, a stunning sexual pull, the source calls it. But Deborah struggles, right? She struggles with his arrogance and mystery surrounding him. She's intrigued, definitely, but also finds him officious and overbearing sometimes.
Well, yeah, and the dynamic between them is incredibly nuanced. Gage, despite the wealth and charm, he's clearly haunted by his past, by his secret identity. He's torn. He wants to protect Deborah, but he absolutely cannot reveal his secret. He even confesses to her, I didn't want anyone who could make me vulnerable enough to make a mistake.
Protecting himself, really.
In a way, yeah. And he's essentially competing with himself for her affection because she's also attracted to Nemesis, the mysterious vigilante. It's this fascinating love triangle where, all 3 points are effectively the same guy.
Mind-bending stuff. And the tension finally culminates in this powerful confrontation. Deborah confronts Gage point blank. Are you Nemesis? He confirms it. And the narrative highlights the moment he reveals the vanishing ability, demonstrating it right there for her.
The big reveal.
Yeah. She sees the jagged scars on his chest, connects him instantly to his past as a cop, remembers the reports about Jack's death. It all clicks. What's her immediate reaction then, beyond just the shock of the vanishing trick?
It's huge for her. A massive aha moment. Like you said, the pieces just slam into place. The man she's falling for, the vigilante she's struggling to reconcile, they're one and the same. She says something like, she's been torn in two different directions, believing I was falling in love with two different men, but it's just you. So her reaction isn't just shock at his powers. It's this deep grappling with his deception, and even more profoundly, his methods. She asks him, am I supposed to say nothing while you ignore it? Ignore the law, she means.
Right, the core conflict again.
Exactly. And Gage, for his part, he emphasizes his actions are all personal, driven by the loss of his partner, his parents. It's this moment of truth that forces her to reevaluate everything she believes about justice, about him, about herself.
Okay, so after this massive revelation, Deborah gets pulled off the case by Mayor Fields. But it turns out it was under pressure from Gage, who thought he was protecting her.
Trying to keep her safe, but probably not the best way to go about it.
No, it just fuels her determination, especially when she figures out Gage was behind it.
Yeah.
So they start working together. In Gage's secret underground lair, this high-tech command center, it sounds amazing. Enormous room with curving stone walls, a whole bank of computers.
Batcave vibes.
Totally. They pool his incredible resources, their goal. Uncover the common thread they found, this 9-digit social security number.
And this common thread leads them somewhere really shocking. Mayor Tucker Fields, the guy running on an anti-crime platform, deeply involved in the drug cartel.
No way. The mayor.
Yep. His declared income is suspiciously high. His connections run deep. The sources really highlight the hypocrisy, right? Campaigning on one thing while actively undermining it, but as the source reveals, even Fields isn't the real puppet master. The corruption goes even deeper.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah.
So the climax. Deborah gets lured to a warehouse by Montega, only to find her trusted friend, Jerry Bauer, the mayor's assistant. He's the true mastermind behind the whole drug cartel.
Jerry, the assistant. Wow.
Yeah, Jerry just casually reveals Fields is merely a pawn. That he's been pulling the strings for more than 6 years, collecting the cash, pushing the buttons.
That is where the tension just breaks. Jerry's betrayal is so profound, it highlights how easily trust can be manipulated, especially by those close to power.
Absolutely chilling.
But Deborah, despite the danger, she fights back bravely, uses a crowbar on him, swings a hoist chain at his face.
Go, Deborah.
Right. Then Gage, as Nemesis, bursts in, battles Montega and the guards. Chaos ensues. But in the chaos, Montega escapes. Again.
So frustrating.
Leaving Gage with deeply unfinished business, true justice for his partner Jack still feels elusive.
So in the tumultuous aftermath of all that, Nemesis fully reveals his identity, his motivations to Deborah. He explains the whole pattern he'd been tracking, the same one they pieced together in his lair, and then he says it. Deborah, I need a partner.
A partner in crime fighting, and maybe more.
Exactly. And Deborah finally accepting him completely, the man, the vigilante, the methods, all of it. She embraces their unconventional partnership, both personally and professionally. She throws herself into his arms, declaring, nothing's going to stop us.
Wow, that's quite the commitment. And the story wraps up with a marriage proposal, right? Symbolizing this merger of their lives, their missions.
Yep. A proposal. They agree on a future together, kids, the whole deal. And this shared mission, Deborah, working within the law as a prosecutor, Gage's Nemesis, using his unique abilities and resources to bring down the criminals like Montega and Jerry Bauer, the ones who keep slipping through the cracks.
And Gage's longtime associate Frank becomes the best man. Celebrating this very unusual union, it's an ending that really suggests justice isn't just one single path, is it? It's maybe a combined effort of the seen and the unseen.
What an incredible journey we've taken through these sources. From a lone vigilante seeking justice on his own terms, to a dedicated prosecutor fighting for it within the established legal framework, we've seen how two seemingly opposing forces can find common ground and forge this unstoppable partnership.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In a world where systems can be corrupted, where evil can lurk in plain sight, maybe even hold positions of power, how far is too far in the pursuit of justice?
That's the question.
And what kind of personal sacrifices are people willing to make when their beliefs, their love, their lives intersect with such profound danger? It's heavy stuff.
It is. This exploration reminds us that love can indeed flourish in the most unexpected places, even, as the source puts it, between reality and illusion. And sometimes, the sources seem to suggest, the most effective path to justice involves not just working within the system, but maybe finding innovative ways to work around its limitations.
Keep exploring those complex questions that come up from narratives like these. Remember, understanding isn't always about finding simple answers. It's more about appreciating the intricate layers of human motivation and the far-reaching consequences of our choices.
Well said. Until next time, keep digging, keep questioning, and keep exploring the depths of knowledge.